Thank you.
Next question, Ben Volin, followed by Mark Daniels.
I guess why not go to Jarrett Stidham? What has Cam showed you to stick by him so much?
He's our quarterback. I think we just answered that. We knew exactly what they were going to do. We just got to be better, and it starts with me personally. Just have to make more plays, and that's what it comes down to.
Coach took you out of the game with a little over 10 minutes left. Are you concerned about not or being benched for next week or anything like that?
That's not my call. I'm just doing what I'm asked. I just have to still go into each and every week with the mentality to keep getting better, and that's what I plan on doing.
Thanks.
Next question, Ian Still, followed by Dan Roach.
Hi, Cam. What was the message from maybe Belichick after the game to the team in the locker room, if you don't mind sharing?
We just had to be better collectively. And he was right. And I think, we didn't play a good style or brand of football tonight, and they did, and they made more plays than us, so it led.
Post-game show.
The Rams are cruising thanks to a strong defensive effort tonight. And, of course, that ground game. Look at McVay. So excited about what he saw from his team tonight. Kenny Young there with the pick six. That made the score 17-0. And the Rams went on to win 24-3, a dominant effort over those Patriots. Welcome in, everybody, to the postgame show. I'm Colleen Wolfe with Steve Smith Sr., Joe Thomas, Michael Irvin. We have a lot to unpack here. Wasn't sure it was going to be this lopsided tonight, but it absolutely was. So let's take a look here at the NFC West. The standings, of course, the Rams, they hold on to that top spot. Now move to 9-4 on the season with the Jets coming up next week. Of course, that Week 16 game against the Seahawks is a huge one. And then closing out the season there against the Cardinals. Cynthia Freeland says now that there is a 41% to win tonight at 6-6. Now they move to 6-7 with the loss. They could not get anything going whatsoever on offense. At the end of that game, Cam Newton was pulled. Jarrett Stidham was put in. So at this point, where does this offense, where does this team go from here? It seems like there's so many things that they need to fix this offseason. We spent the pre-show talking about, well, there's a chance they might be heating up. This defense is playing a little bit better. Irv, what do they have to do at this point?
First of all, you and Steve spent the pre-show.
Oh, now the bus is backing up on
Let's
me.
Get this right. Well, no. We're just making sure
Classic
we
Irv.
bring correct information.
There he
and
is,
not
Sir Snitch
fake
himself.
news to the good people. We cannot
Snitch
give
is
the
alive.
good
He's
people
back.
fake news. But Joe and I talked about can Cam move forward with this team, and we did not see that happening because we talked about the struggles they have in the passing game. And tonight, it got magnified because they slowed down.
To try to be in passing situations. Well, they tried to force the issue and run the ball, and they weren't able to run the ball. Once they got into the red zone, they were 0 for 4 because they just don't have a lot of different run plays, and you just get so predictable, especially by this point in the season. Everybody's got a ton of game film on them. All those formations that they line up in, they can try to put window dressing on them, but the defense is probably sitting out there saying that we practiced against all these looks and all these plays that we're getting, and they showed it when they got down there early in the game, and they stuffed them on the goal line on 4th down. And really, it wasn't much of a game because Cam Newton and the New England Patriots had no ability to stretch the field and push the ball downfield throwing the football.
Well, they tried to push the ball down the field at times, but the offensive line could not hold up with that outstanding defensive line with Aaron Donald. But also, too, even when Stidham got in the game, he didn't do a great job. He just played a little bit better hot potato than Cam Newton. But then also, too, there were some passes Cam Newton threw that his wide receivers just couldn't catch. And then also, too, that at the end of it, what Joe said is they tried to window dress some things, but they just could not get it going in the pass game. So just to summarize what all of us have said, let me show you what the New England Patriots are right now. Put a fork in them.
It's a very large fork.
I love the prop.
Yeah.
Good planning there on your part.
What's frustrating, right? He
was like,
Steve, you
got a
called
video
your wife and
coming or
said, bring me a fork out in the kitchen and let me do that.
That's the turkey fork right there.
Turkey fork, right. That's the big fork.
That's my fork
but
right
listen,
there.
You saw something. You saw something after that big sack, and Cam dropped back and he hit N'Keal Harry down the sideline. It wasn't something beautiful, but it was what N'Keal Harry has.
That's what you practice, and you are what you practice. So they don't get a lot of opportunities in practice working on their down-the-field passing game. They don't get a lot of opportunities working on timing with this receiver core that's been much maligned. And so they're not going to get any better at it. And so it's really difficult to get put in a situation like the Patriots were tonight where they're really far behind, and all of a sudden now they're going to be this down-the-field passing attack. It just doesn't work like that. So unless they make some big-time changes, I don't really see things being any different for the Patriots, certainly the rest of this season.
I agree with everyone. The one thing that was interesting, too, is when they were around in the fringe and in the red zone, they just couldn't get it done. They tried to do some creative things, but at the end of the day, they just
power in the offensive line over the Rams' defensive line. You can't run a power run game and not have the first part of it, which is the power in your offensive line. Aaron Donald dominated that offensive line. The Rams' defense, and sometimes the guys were getting sacked that didn't even get blocked. That was a problem right off the top. I understand you have the running, you have a running quarterback. You're trying to get a running game. But the Rams said on defense, you will not be able to power us. So that was the problem. You got a power run game and no power on that offensive line. Joe, that was your job to say that, Joe. You are the offensive lineman on this show. You should have called your boys out on that offensive line.
You're in trouble now, Joe.
I just wanted to tee it up for you because I love what you failed to talk about was the red zone issues are because they don't have precision in their passing game. The windows get so much tighter down there, and they just don't have the accuracy and the precision that you need. And of course, they don't have the power either. No power. You guys need to get better if you're going to be a power rushing team. But come on, let's be honest. Aaron Rodgers is the best defensive tackle in the NFL. That front is unbelievable. And when you tell them, hey, this team's going to run the ball, I think they can load up and they can stop just about anybody, especially the Patriots.
Yeah, serious power outage for the Patriots tonight there at SoFi. Joe, it was a dominant performance from him and this defense, but specifically on Donald. What did you see from him tonight?
Yeah, he was unbelievable, Colleen. You know, we talk about this guy as maybe the best player in the NFL, and when we say that, I think people think that I'm being hyperbolic and we're actually not serious. But when you watch what this guy does out there, he literally is changing the game from the defensive tackle position. You can't run at him. You can't run away from him because he's too fast. And if you try to pass block him, even with two guys, he splits double teams. He pushes guys back into the quarterback. And when he gets home, he never lets a quarterback out of his grasp. He is legitimately a game wrecker in every sense of the word, and he showed it tonight. I mean, the Patriots got down early, and then it was just the Aaron Donald show after that. They had no chance to get back because they couldn't block 99 all night.
We talked about it in our pregame show, just how automatic he is, and we saw it right in front of our eyes tonight in this game. Now, let's take a look first at the NFC playoff picture as it stands right now. The Rams holding on to that top spot in the NFC West, moving to 9-4 on the season. Only the Packers and Saints have better records at this point. So, listen, Steve, when you take into account the way that this defense is performing at such a high level, really it is the new identity of this team. How far can that defense take them in the NFC and beyond?
Well, starting off with just the Rams, all of them defensively, they present a problem for anybody. Third and long is exactly where they want you because that allows Aaron questioned it. Now you don't question it anymore. And so that allows a Jared Goff to get out on the edges. They can run their stretch plays and bootlegs. And now you have to look at this team on all three phases. Offense has always been an issue. and then defense is a headache, and then obviously on special teams. So this team is hitting on all cylinders at the right time, led by Aaron Donald and company on that defense.
Now, you guys see that. It says 6 sacks